Hello team, today's challenge is Cooldown Time, which is an odd name for a period of time between when you take a test and when you're allowed to take the next test. So in this case, they say you can only take a certain test every 48 hours, kind of like maybe a driving test or something like that. And we'll have to compare those two times. Now, thankfully, they are in ISO 8601, so that makes our lives very, very very easy, right? Where parsing these dates and getting that information is going to be simplified for us, okay? So jumping over to the code, we have the finish time, we have the current time. I want to start by using Temporal, okay? Temporal doesn't work in Safari at the moment, at the time of this recording, hopefully soon, but it works everywhere else, and it's fun to play with, right? It's just so easy. So let's do this. We have the finish time. We're going to set that equal to temporal. Notice that we don't use a new keyword on this. We just access things off of it. So in this case, we're going, what are we using? Plain date time. And you need all of this for this, okay? Temporal has plain time, it has plain date, and it has this plain date time, okay? Now on top of that, you use from and you go finish time, okay? Just like that. So I'm going to copy that down because I also want that for the current time, just like this, changing this one, current time, brilliant, okay? And the nice thing here is that we get all these additional methods off of temporal, okay? So in this case, we can go diff, or we could call that hours if we wanted to, okay? Let's do that. We'll call it hours just to make things simpler. And we will go the current time dot since the finish time. So the amount of time between these two things, okay? If you flip these around, you will get a negative. So just be aware of that. Something that you might not want, but here we have it, okay? The challenge with since, though, is that it will return as its largest unit, it will return days. So instead of getting 48 hours, you will get 2 days. And we would really like this to be in hours because that's what we're comparing against. So right here, we're able to add options. And in fact, we can just go largest unit and set that equal to a string of hours, okay? This is kind of like an enum. There's only certain values you're allowed to put in here, but hours is what we want, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to return an object that has hours as our largest measure. So it'll go hours, minutes, seconds, all the way down. It'll break that down, but our largest measure will be hours. And hopefully that will be greater than 48, which is what we're doing. So right behind here, we can actually get hours, okay? Which means that we're funneling that in. And down here, we just go hours greater than 48, okay? And that, greater than equal to 48, greater than equal to 48, and now it works, okay? So this is it, okay? We can use temporal, and there are a lot of helper methods on there that make it easy. We can add or subtract or get the since or until, which is kind of the opposite of since, right? That's going into the future. And then just peel the information off and use it, right? We don't have to do any special math. But if you don't have access to temporal, right? If you're still using Safari and you need to support Safari, I do. So we need a different option, okay? So pasting this one back in here so that we can use it, I'm going to get temporal plain date time dot from multi-cursors for the win, and I'm going to go new date. Again, because it's ISO 8601, I keep saying ISO, this will parse, okay? And it will give us a date, which means that now we can go CT minus FT, which gives us that. And then we divide all that by 1,000 times 60 times 60, okay? We need some brackets in here to make sure that all of our maths happen in the right order, just like this, and it still works, okay? So what this is doing is, again, we're parsing those dates, but they get parsed to milliseconds since epoch, right? which is what, Jan 1st, 1970, if I remember correctly. Okay. But we can still do that math. And then we turn it back into hours, which is going to be a floating point, but we turn it back into hours using 1,000 milliseconds times 60 seconds times 60 minutes. Okay, that's what this is doing. If I really wanted to, I could try to remember that this is 3,600 with 3 more zeros, so 3,600,000. I'm never going to remember that, right? I always need to do that math. So I always break it apart like this, okay? But both these options work. So if you had to go a little bit old school, this will work. If you can get away with temporal, then do it, because it's so fun and there are so many good tools inside of there. The last thing that I want to talk about is this magic number of 48, right? What happens if they change it and they want it to be 36 or 24 or 7 times 24 for a week, whatever that number is, right? Well, then we should be able to change this. So what I want to do is right here, adding some space. Brilliant. Taking this back. I'm going to add in min wait time like this, set it to 48, okay? And then replace these two 48s, so this one here and the second one, with min wait time, which means that now I have a completely flexible solution, okay? I don't actually need this for these tests today because it will default to it. Sorry, I'm not going to change this, right? Because I don't have any tests that do that. But because I set a default, that gets passed in and I'm able to use it everywhere. And then if they do decide that they want to change it, or they want to change it for just specific tests, then they can do that, right? We've left that door open for them. So there it is, right? We've done a couple things. We've set this really handy default inside of our args so that they can use it. And then we played around with temporal a little bit. Again, go and explore it. It's so much fun. The froms and the amount of tools in here and all of the different methods available, it's going to make our lives way easier going forward once it's supported on everything. Again, at the time of this video, no Safari. Hurry up, Safari. If you do need that right now, then date is the best way moving forward. So you parse out those dates, you do a little bit of math, and you do it old school, okay? So milliseconds, seconds, minutes to get 24 hours, or to divide by hours, okay? The comparison is exactly the same, no changes there, but it all works, okay? Again, not every solution, just hopefully one good solution. In this case, hopefully 2 good solutions, right? So looking at that, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you find another way? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, today this has been Cooldown Time, and I will see you tomorrow.